from Miller Park, getting you ready for the third and final game of this series, the final game of the homestand as the Milwaukee Brewers take on the Chicago White Sox. It's the rubber match. The Brewers taking game one. The White Sox a winner last night. One of the big stories, though, for the Brewers of late, Elian Herrera. One career homer in the big leagues coming into the season, but he's hit 4 this year and 3 in as many nights, helping this Brewers team come up with a bit of a power surge. They're hitting more home runs than anyone lately in Major League Baseball. Good evening from Miller Park with Bill Schroeder. I'm Matt LePay. Sophia Minert is our reporter. And Rock, we were talking early in the year where the Brewers, it took a long time to get the double-digit homers as a team, but they're on a power surge right now, led by, believe it or not, Elian Herrera. 3 homers in 3 nights. Good story.
Just don't pinch him. I mean, he might wake up, right? I mean, not a home run hitter. 1 home run coming in his career before this year. Didn't even make the team out of spring training. All of a sudden, Elian Herrera on a roll at the bottom of the order. The Brewers have got some contributions out of some guys that you don't expect. Hector Gomez, Jason Rogers, guys like that. But Herrera has been tremendous, coming up big. 3 consecutive games with home runs. He's got 4 this year. And on the defensive side, he's been outstanding over there with Aramis Ramirez still nursing that bad back. Herrera has been the guy to pick up that offense when they have needed it. Now, all of a sudden, he's in that leadoff spot with Segura out of the lineup tonight.
You see those numbers, and that's why Elian Herrera is our T-Mobile game changer. Those 3 home runs have been important to either tie the game or take the lead, so they have mattered for the Brew Crew, and hoping to help his team win another series here tonight. Took 2 out of 3 against the Cubs and trying to do the same to the Chicago White Sox. Jimmy Nelson on the mound tonight. He's turned in some really good work at Miller Park this season. Hoping to turn in more of the same tonight. Craig and Augie will have more on the Brewers starter as we continue on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Welcome back to Miller Park. Right-hander Jimmy Nelson, left-hander Jose Quintana, ready to battle here tonight, both looking for win number 2 on the season. And Jimmy Nelson looking to continue his home success here. He's pitched better at Miller Park, and last night, Og, you said Chris Sale was pitching more like a pterodactyl. That's what he was going to be out there. What dinosaur are we looking at for Jimmy Nelson here tonight?
Well, first of all, pterodactyl comes at you from all angles. But if you talk about Jimmy Nelson, he'd be a Montosaurus, a big guy, the biggest dinosaur of all. But when you talk about Jimmy Nelson, he has that big size. He comes right at you. He's aggressive in the strike zone. What he needs to do tonight, command the fastball, get ahead of hitters, and really dominate the strike zone and be able to get ahead of hitters. Mainly stay doing that, and he'll be just fine. He's comfortable at home. He's pitched well, 2 to 3 quality starts. I've been here in Milwaukee. Continue to do this, just that.
Last time he pitched here, he got a tough loss, but he did have 11 strikeouts. But here's that home road split that you were talking about. Just a ERA just over 2 at home.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball very well. And it all comes because he commands that strike zone so well. And he's been using all his pitches. He's got that curveball. He's found that new slider that he has. And that's really been a big part of his success here in Milwaukee. He gets on the road. Sometimes I think a young pitcher goes out and tries to do too much. When he's at home, he gets in that comfort zone. He throws the ball very well, and he needs to do that tonight.
All right, we'll see what the Amontosaurus reference does by the end of the night when we see you next on Brewers Live postgame. Until then, though, the Brewers trying to end this homestand the way it began, and that's with a win.
Nelson ready to take the mound in search of win number 2 and trying to help the Brewers take 2 out of 3 against the Chicago White Sox. To wrap up this homestand, Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. You can see by the temperature a little chilly outside, so we'll keep the roof closed. Nice and comfortable inside for the series finale between the Brewers and the Chicago White Sox. And let's get to that White Sox batting order presented by Potawatomi. Adam Eaton, Emilio Bonifacio, Melky Cabrera at the top, Avi Garcia, Adam LaRoche, and Alexi Ramirez in the middle. Gordon Beckham, Tyler Flowers behind the plate. Jose Quintana rounds out the batting order against the Brewers' Jimmy Nelson.
Well, Jimmy making his 3rd consecutive start against a team from Chicago. Previous 2 against the Cubs. And tonight against the White Sox. Has never faced the White Sox. The only batter in the lineup for Chicago that's faced Nelson, Melky Cabrera.
And that was all of 3 at bats. So we are ready to roll. Game 3 of the series and game 10 of the homestand, and a strike, and we are underway at Miller Park. Adam Eaton, the center fielder, had a big night on Monday. We give him that 5 for 10 in this series. He had 4 of those hits on Monday night, a game the Brewers won 10-7. And then the White Sox last night defeating Milwaukee 4-2. Some terrific pitching from Chris Sale in that game. Mike Fiers was also pretty good for the Brewers, 6 1/3, and gave up just a couple of runs. But Sale looked like the pitcher of all-star form the last 3 years, the way he was throwing it last night for the White Sox. So this is the rubber match of the series.
Yeah, Sale was throwing it at 96 miles an hour in the 8th inning. Pitch count was over 100, and after a couple of shaky starts, Sale was pretty good last night.
He was. Brewers were held to just 3 hits in the game. Dave Robertson, their closer, did just that in the 9th inning. Nelson out in front, a ball, 2 strikes as we are just getting started here. The Brewers and the White Sox.
Yeah, the first time Jimmy has faced a team this year. It's happened 3 times that he's pitched pretty well. Unfortunately for him, every time he pitches against somebody, he pitches against them the next start. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and the Cubs.
Yeah, that has been the rhythm of the season, if you will, for Jimmy Nelson. So it's a new face tonight that he won't have to worry about having a rematch against. But he has turned in some tremendous performances. Mentioned at Miller Park, his very first start here was lights out against the Pirates.
And he was pretty good his last time out against the Cubs. 7 innings, 4 earned runs, the 11 strikeouts, but he allowed 3 home runs.
And that was the one thing that Nelson has not been doing. Is we've talked a lot about this Brewers pitching staff being vulnerable to giving up the long ball, but a multiple home run night is something that does not happen to Jimmy Nelson until that last outing against the Cubs. But the good news for the Brewers is they're hitting home runs at a good clip right now, as that has been a big turnaround for this offense from the first 3 weeks of the season. Nelson with the 2-2 to the leadoff hitter, and that is foul down the line. And a broken bat in the process. And Nelson not only has had the rematches, but he has gone against, you mentioned Jason Hamill. He's already gone up against him a couple of times. Johnny Cueto of the Reds, he was terrific, Nelson, in an outing here. 8 innings, gave up just a run. But it was a game that the Reds went on to win 2-1. But Nelson and Cueto were putting up zeros, one right after the other, for a good chunk of that ball game. A 1-3 record. But an ERA here at Miller Park of just a shade more than 2. This is lifted into the seats. And the count holds 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's been throwing hard. He's got that sinker working for him, getting some ground ball outs, and the slider's back for Jimmy. Remember his first couple of starts, it was the big curveball that was the pitch for him, the breaking ball. Now he's throwing the slider like he did last year in the minor leagues. It's a good pitch for him.
Again, the 2-2. And again, a foul ball. The White Sox begin play with a 13-17 record. Their win last night, just their 3rd on the road against 12 losses. Robin Ventura's team victorious last night. As we mentioned, Sale, the biggest of the stories in that game, striking out 11 Brewers in his 8 innings of work. Curve misses, and a good battle here in the opening at bat of the game. Nelson against Adam Eaton.
Yeah, the White Sox are a team that doesn't strike out a whole lot. At least that's the way it's been so far this year. 3rd fewest in the American League. So they will fight you. They'll battle you up there with 2 strikes.
And a team that's been hitting much better in the last week and a half. As the White Sox got off to a very slow start offensively in that regard. But hitting .288 over the last 10 games. And they too are showing a little more power of late after a long stretch where it was non-existent. They're still trying to get their act in order with a degree of consistency. The Brewers trying to close off this homestand on a good note, which would mean 2 series wins if things go right tonight in a series split. Adam Eaton works Nelson for a walk, and pretty tough battle won by the White Sox center fielder.
Yeah, 12 pitch at bat, won by Adam Eaton. Let's check out the Brewers' Menards defense. Davis, Gomez, and Braun in the outfield. Herrera, Hector Gomez. Segura sits this one out. A sore pinky finger got him out of this one. Jeanette over at second base. Jeanette will get some at-bats against the lefty. Lind at first, and Maldonado back behind home plate.
And you see the middle infield tonight with Hector Gomez and Scooter Jeanette, as Gene Segura looks on. Here's Emilio Bonifacio. He'll play second tonight for the White Sox. It's the 5th time he has started there this season, as that one sails past Maldonado and all the way to the backstop, and Adam Eaton moves on to second.
Yeah, that not even close. Well, Jimmy having a difficult time with his delivery here in the early going. I mean, airmails everybody on this one. Maldonado not able to get the glove up, and a rough start to the evening for Jimmy Nelson.
Adam Eaton, 12 pitch at bat, worked him for a walk, and now he's the runner at second. And Bonifacio showing bunt. He's a good utility player, and that's his role with the White Sox. Play in the infield, play a number of positions for this Chicago team. Been in the outfield on 3 occasions.
The guy can run a little bit, a switch hitter. Makes pretty good contact. And Jimmy Nelson's walked now 13 batters, including the walk to Adam Eaton, but 5 of those came in one start at Cincinnati. For the most part, he's been doing a pretty good job throwing strikes.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. And a chopper that is grabbed by Adam Lind, and a feed to Nelson for the out as Eaton moves to third. Well, the first out of the game. White Sox with a runner at third. Hey, you mentioned that outing at Cincinnati where he issued the 5 walks. That was the one start above all where he just did not have it. And again, that was a rematch start for him. He had pitched so well here at Miller Park against the Reds, but then 5 days later he lasted just 2 1/3 innings and gave up the 7 runs.
Yeah, 11 base runners in 2 1/3. It just wasn't his night.
But he's had some pretty good bounce back efforts, including his very next start at Wrigley Field, where he helped the Brewers. Didn't have a decision, but helped the Brewers beat the Cubs. There's a liner to the left that'll get a run home. Davis the catch. Tagging and scoring is Adam Eaton with the first run of the game. Melky Cabrera with a sac fly. 2 men out here in the first inning.
Yeah, the White Sox are without Jose Abreu. It's going to be Adam LaRoche over at first base. Can't play both of them in the same game. Usually one of them is going to be the designated hitter. In American League games, the other play first. Can't do that here in this league.
Nope. National League Park, therefore National League rules, but it does give Ventura a pretty nice option as a pinch hitter. Here's Javi Garcia with a fly ball hit back into deep center field, and that is gone. Javi Garcia, his 3rd home run of the year, and it's 2-0 White Sox.
Well, the Brewers have been able to keep him pretty quiet in the first 2 games of the series. Only 1 hit, but that is a very strong young man up there at the plate to just hit that out of the park. He was out on his front foot and hit a line drive out of here to center. Check it out. I mean, that's a nice easy swing on a pitch down in the strike zone. Just jumps off his bat and way back in center.
The White Sox get their first run without the benefit of a hit, but the second run, a loud hit. Javi Garcia with a solo shot to center, and here's Adam LaRoche. Mentioned the first baseman tonight for the White Sox, and certainly someone in his career who has been a consistent power hitter. 20+ homers in 9 of the last 10 years. The last 4 with the Washington Nationals. Hit 26 home runs a year ago for the Nats. So Jimmy Nelson, who prior to his last start had been pretty good about not giving up the big fly. That outing at Cincinnati, he gave up a homer. That was, as we mentioned, the one outing where it just wasn't there for him. But allowed 3 to the Cubs in his last start and gives up 1 to the White Sox here in the first inning.
Man, that wasn't really that bad of a pitch. I mean, it was down, and Garcia just went down and got it. That's just a good piece of hitting.
2-0 pitch. From here, the Brewers move on to a 3-city road trip. Take on the Mets, the Tigers, and then on to Atlanta to meet the Braves. And a strike to LaRoche. So Nelson trying to battle through the rest of this first inning. White Sox have touched him up for a couple. And that is well struck. Center field. And that is going to leave the yard. Back-to-back home runs. Garcia and now LaRoche, and it's 3-0.
Now a little different situation there. 3-1 count. And LaRoche got a good pitch to hit, and he hit it. He's had 2 at-bats in this series, and he's got 2 hits. One of them a home run tonight. Check this out, 3-1. That's not a good pitch by Jimmy. Up out over the plate, and Adam LaRoche knocks it out of here. 3-0 White Sox, and we just started.
First back-to-back homers for the White Sox this season. I mentioned they are getting a little of that power back. But they're in the last several games after not having much of any kind of home run hitting attack outside of Abreu. Here's Alexi Ramirez. His sacrifice fly in the 8th inning proved to be the game-winning RBI. White Sox breaking the tie in the 8th and then getting an insurance run in the 9th last night. En route to the 4-2 win and evening this series. Ramirez brings a 7-game hitting streak into the contest tonight. Nelson with a 1-1. A chopper to Scooter Gennett. And that'll do it here in the first inning for the White Sox. But a tough start for the Brewers. Good start for the White Sox. Early 3-0 lead. Rounded out against the White Sox left-hander Jose Quintana.
Yeah, Quintana pitching a lot better than that record would indicate. 1-3 and a 5.03 earned run average. He's been pretty good in his last 3 starts. He's 0-2 in that stretch, but he's only allowed 5 earned runs in his last 19 innings. Not getting a whole lot of run support.
Yeah, it's something we have talked about with Brewer pitching from time to time, and it seems specifically Willie Peralta there for a stretch, but he scored all of 3 runs for him in those last 3 starts. There is Elian Herrera, who has homered 3 times in each of the last 3 games. Putting on a little power show as he continues to play third as Aramis Ramirez. Hoping sooner than later now that he can be available with that lower back tightness.
I think the Brewers are looking for Rami to come back sometime in that New York Mets series. Been a while for Ramirez, but Herrera's been doing a pretty good job.
You know, they'll be able to buy another day here as the Brewers are off tomorrow before starting the series with the Mets on Friday night. But you're right, Herrera has been a fun story. His versatility. He's had some tough chances here in the last 5 games over at third. But he's turning in some pretty good overall work, and most notably the home run power that he's been showing. The 2-strike pitch.
Quintana not overpowering. He likes to work both sides of the plate. He'll sink the fastball once in a while. If he gets it up there at 92, that's pretty good, but has a good curveball and a good changeup. So the Brewers are going to have to stay back, make him throw strikes.
The 1-2 to Elian Herrera. And that is strike 3 called. Well, the Brewers last night went down 13 times via the strikeout, 11 from Sales and 2 times David Robertson.
Yeah, let's check out the Menards White Sox defense. They have not been very good so far this year defensively. Cabrera, Eaton, and Garcia in the outfield. It's going to be Gordon Beckham at third base, Alexi Ramirez and Emilio Bonifacio joining Adam LaRoche making his first start at first, and Tyler Flowers behind the plate.
Chris Davis now settles in. See, in that series, that home run, that was a pinch hit homer. And they called Chris Davis Crush Davis for a reason, and that was what he did in that long ball in the landing area. Bernie slide. It was 2 hitters after Herrera broke a 7-all tie with a 2-run homer.
Pretty good poke.
That was drilled. Here's the 1-1. Mentioned Quintana, the lack of run support. He has some pretty amazing statistics that are not favorable, but not really his fault. A couple of years ago, set an American League record with 17 no decisions.
That's something.
A couple nights ago, talking about with Chris Davis, Powerball home run count. That was number 3 for Davis.
Well, for former Brewer Zach Duke. A big fly for Chris Davis.
Yeah, the Brewers treated their former teammate with a couple of home runs, and Duke has been pitching very, very well.
Yeah, first 2 home runs he's allowed this year.
White Sox getting the early jump. Talked about Quintana's lack of run support. You know, his team has given him 3 here in the first inning. There's a bouncing ball to short. That's Alexi Ramirez. 2 men out.
He had 3 runs in the first inning, and the White Sox had scored 3 runs for him in his previous 4 starts.
Here's Ryan Braun. Looking to start a new hitting streak. Had a 6-game run snapped last night. He was hitless in 4 at-bats. It was a tough night all the way around for this Brewers offense. As we mentioned, Sale. He got a couple of rough outings coming into last night's game, but he was on his game last night. And they're saying sometimes you just tip your cap to the other guy.
Right. Brewers only had 3 hits.
Jose Quintana signed as a free agent. White Sox back in 2011. A deceiving record. His ERA has been very good, but he is pitching for teams that have not been very good. He is establishing himself as a very good member of that rotation as the Brewers go down 1-2-3 in the first, and we are through 1 with the White Sox the early lead.
Academy Hotel and Casino, the White Sox with a 3-0 lead as we head here to the second. And Gene Segura, a late scratch to the lineup in last night's game, sliding in here for the triple, injured his left pinky finger. So he had a sore pinky, tried to take batting practice today, but just couldn't grip the bat properly. So he was a late scratch. So the Brewers lineup changes continue here. You see here Siggy with athletic trainer Dan Wright trying to work on that bat grip there with the pinky, but just couldn't go tonight. Aramis Ramirez also missing his 6th straight game, but continues to make some progress. He was on the field before the game today, did some infield work, also hit in the cage, did some BP on the field, and Craig Counsell said they're hoping that the way he's progressing, he'll be available for the weekend series in New York.
All right, Sophia, thanks much. Gordon Beckham lines out to begin the top half of the second.
Yeah, probably stiffened up overnight. I mean, Segura hit that triple in the first inning, was able to stay in the game, had 3 more at-bats. Struck out a couple of times, so it was probably hurting him just a little bit. And just keeping him out of the lineup as precaution. Hopefully with the day off tomorrow, he'll be ready to go on Friday.
Here's Tyler Flowers. Back behind the plate for the White Sox tonight. And Craig Counsell really in the first week and a half for him as a manager. He knows the deal. He played 16 years. He's been around the game a long time, but the late scratches and all the.
It's been a challenge.
It really has. He's had a lot on his plate. But seems to have the temperament, the makeup to know that that's how this game works, and you adapt accordingly. But he did point out to reporters before the game that this is a ball club that has had the lineup that it's wanted, the lineup that broke camp. Maybe 4 times.
Yeah, well, 34 different lineups in 35 games, including tonight. Tonight's a different lineup. Makes it a little bit difficult to find continuity when you're not sure who's available from day to day.
Yeah, that's the difference. He's shown already in under 2 weeks that he's very willing to adjust the lineup game to game, as he has said, and he said it in his first news conference. I'm just trying to get the lineup that I think gives this team the best chance every night to win a baseball game.
Yeah, based on who's available, right?
Yeah, and that's the qualifier there, because it just night to night. And he knows, as I said, that's how the game works. But it does make it a challenging process filling out your lineup card every night. But that said, the Brewers here recently with a couple of series wins against the Cubs, a split with the Dodgers, and a chance to get another series win if they can get the White Sox here tonight. White Sox getting 3 runs in the first. It all started with an Adam Eaton walk. He came around on a sacrifice fly, and then Avi Garcia and Adam LaRoche go back to back with home runs to center. Nelson with the 3-2 to Flowers. This is popped up. And calling for it will be Herrera, 2 men out.
Now it all starts with your starting rotation. Those guys have been pretty good as of late. And Jimmy Nelson off to a slow start in the first, but he has an opportunity to turn things around here. And when your starting rotation is keeping you in the game, it gives your offense, no matter who that is that particular day, an opportunity to get going.
And the Brewers have had help offensively from a variety of sources. As Jose Quintana gets an at bat. Very few of them, as you would imagine, in his career. And there's a bouncer to Jeanette. And this is a much calmer inning for Jimmy Nelson as the White Sox go down 1, 2, 3. Middle of the order for the Brew Crew as the always exciting Carlos Gomez will try to get things started as we move to the bottom of the second inning with the White Sox leading 3-0. It's 3-0. Nice easy 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Nelson in the second. Here's tonight's CarSoup.com trivia question. Which managers of the Brewers and White Sox appeared in a bench clearing brawl almost 20 years ago, July 25th, 1995? That's when rivalries were rivalries.
Yeah.
The old AL rivals there, Rocky.
Yeah.
Remember that well.
I was doing that game on television. I was up in the booth. It was in Chicago in the South Side, and I was working with Jim Paschke at that point.
That was a good old-fashioned rumble.
That was back in the days. You remember the days when managers were arguing with umpires and stuff?
Yeah, it's kind of fading from my memory, but I do recall in this game that used to happen from time to time.
Right, that was kind of fun too.
Carlos Gomez, followed by Adam Lind and Martin Maldonado here in the home half of the second inning.
Mentioned Quintana likes to work both sides of the plate. His natural side that he likes to work is the glove side. That's in on a right-handed batter, but he's learned over the years to be able to be effective on the outside corner. There's that breaking pitch. He's got a good changeup, and as you mentioned, he's a .500 pitcher with an earned run average in his career at about 3.5. I mean, has not pitched with a whole lot of luck here in Chicago.
One of the members of the White Sox went down like a bowling pin in that foul ball off the bat of Gomez. You're right though. Let's take a look. I think he got the 10 pin there. Check that out.
I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, he went back. I mean,
wow.
On that bench. Wow.
The 1-2. Gomez in the cleanup slot each of the 3 games in this series. And he has shown the total package of his game offensively, the power and the speed, the aggressive nature. He's had a bunch single, a little bit of a lot, that 4th spot.
And circled the bases in this series. A triple and an error. He went all the way around.
He did a poor throw from the right fielder Avi Garcia, and Gomez broke for home and was able to beat the throw. Two balls, 2 strikes. You mentioned the adjustment that Quintana's been able to make too with hitters. Last year he only gave up 10 home runs. That was in 200 innings of work. That's pretty impressive. He's allowed 3 so far this season in 34 innings. It's been a factor in that ERA being as low as it is. As after he signed with the White Sox in 2011, he went through the minor league system pretty quickly. Had a handful of games, just a handful above A ball. The White Sox brought him up his debut in May of 2012 against the Indians. Somebody that, as Gomez goes down and spins himself into the dirt in the process.
Yeah, breaking ball at only 80 miles an hour. Took a little bit off, and Carlos with the big swing, and second strikeout for Quintana. Carlos never loses his helmet when he actually makes contact. It's only when he swings and misses. Pulled his head that time, and hat came off. He went down.
It's out number 1 here in the second. Here's Adam Lind. This is probably the closest thing to a slump that Lind is having right now. He is 0 for his last 11. And getting an opportunity against the left-handed starter. He is 5 for 19 against lefties this season. That's already 3 more hits than he had all of last year. Didn't have a lot of plate appearances. As a matter of fact, was 2 for 33 last year in Toronto against left-handers. But I mean, he's so good. He was not in the lineup last night, but Craig Counsell figured, I've got to get this guy in there, left-hander or not.
Yeah, this is the 7th left-handed starter the Brewers have faced. First time they've had back-to-back lefties against them this year.
And Lynn waves at it and does not get it.
Yeah, the Brewers are honoring the man who kept baseball in Milwaukee by giving him his very own bobblehead on Sunday, May 31st. as the Brew Crew host the Diamondbacks, and all fans get a Bud Selig bobblehead courtesy of IBS Dynamin. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com today.
Looking good.
The commissioner.
Yes, sir. Retired, just a word, not just sitting around.
Yeah, and before I get all the tweets, I know he's retired, but
yes,
he's always going to be the commissioner to us.
Absolutely right.
Not that I read him anyway, but
you're a busy guy. You have other stuff to do, man. You kidding?
Rock, just to let you know, the commissioner retired. Bud Selig's not commissioner anymore.
Thanks for the knowledge.
Okay.
Just trying to make sure, you know.
Yeah.
Make sure you're aware, because
Right,
I know you probably don't know Mr. Selig at all.
Just kind of snuck up on me.
Always a lot of help available.
Yeah.
If you ask for it or not.
I appreciate it.
Jose Quintana already with 3 strikeouts, and he has Maldonado down 2 strikes-0. And he just struck out the side. And Quintana off and rolling for the White Sox, and we are through 2. It's 3-0 Chicago. DraftKings.com players to watch. Elian Herrera on his role. Jose Abreu not in the lineup tonight, but still could see him later. Giancarlo Stanton, there's the guy to watch, and also James Shields at ERA a little high, but the record you can't argue with. But Giancarlo Stanton has been launching. Team of 8 home runs. Only Bryce Harper has driven in more.
What, he hit one last night, about 480 in L.A.?
He did. Adam Eaton leading off the 3rd inning here for Chicago. White Sox getting their 3 runs in the first, and it started when Eaton worked Nelson for a walk. It was a 12-pitch at bat. So we're talking about Stanton last night. They say the ball's flying out at Dodger Stadium much more frequently this season, but check this out, 478 feet.
Over everything, over the pavilion. That doesn't happen very much.
Whoa. And we repeat, that is not known as the greatest hitters park ever, but balls seem to be flying out of there a little bit more, but maybe not to the tune of 478 feet.
Right. And then McGuire hit one out of there. Piazza did. I think Stargell's another guy that hit it out of Dodger Stadium.
There's a 1-2. And the Dodgers, of course, themselves are this year, a powerful team offensively. Just a powerful team, period. Team batting average, second best in the National League. Talking about L.A. There's a bouncing ball, and that'll be grabbed by Adam Lind, and he'll win the foot race to the bag. All about home run power. The Dodgers with 51 bombs already as a team to lead the league. Hey, you mentioned Willie Stargell a couple times, Rock.
That's all of them, right?
There you go. And Giancarlo Stanton
5
joins
times.
a pretty good list.
Willie Stargell, boy, he could hit him.
Pops.
Man.
Pop Stargell. Those Pirates teams of the 70s. Emilio Bonifacio. Rounded out the Lind of the first.
I think they had seats marked with spots where Stargell hit home runs in just about every ballpark that you go to. I mean, a lot of those ballparks don't exist anymore, but
right.
A while ago, and hit some mammoth homers.
Always liked his stance, as he just kind of loop the bat and get himself ready, nice and loose, and then just whip it.
Mm-hmm.
And the ball would go a long, long way. 0-2 the count to Bonifacio. And another heads up and just beyond the visiting dugout.
Yeah, those foul balls like that, even when you're watching, are tough to get out of the way. Those bullets right over the dugout. Sometimes they skip off the dugout roof, and no telling where we're going to end up after that.
And the 2-strike pitch, and this will carry out a play. And the White Sox have had a couple of extended at bats here, and Bonifacio battling Nelson. Back-to-back homers in the first inning from Garcia and LaRoche, helping Chicago to this early lead. A breaking ball and a hot to Elian Herrera. 2 men out. Tonight, Fox Sports Live will get you caught up on a full night of NHL and NBA playoff action, plus highlights on tonight's Major League Baseball games. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1 or see it simulcast right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Last night, for a while, of impeccable promo reads. This is it for you for a while, right?
That's right. You guys are finally kicking me out. Get the first team back with BA.
Yeah, I'll be back on Friday in New York, and been a lot of fun though, Manny.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. You guys are all great.
Guys, you're coming back later in the summer, though.
I will. So you all have been warned. Yeah, BA has, I think, one more playoff game, NBA playoff game tonight, and then he'll be with you. And there is a base hit from Melky Cabrera. He had been scuffling. He had come into the game with an 0 for 15. With a sac fly in the first, but that hit snaps his 0 for, and he's the 2-out base runner.
And just slaps one into the outfield, just out of the reach of Hector Gomez. And now the power's coming up.
Javi Garcia and LaRoche both went deep. Center field was the target. Home run for Garcia, his 3rd of the year. He now has 11 RBIs. He has been really the one constant as you look at LaRoche on deck. Garcia's average at .322. It includes 12 multi-hit games.
There's a good pitch to a strong hitter. You tie him up on the inside corner. Don't let him get his arms extended. A good pitch at 93 with some sink.
Start number 7 this year for Jimmy Nelson. And that scoots Garcia back. Teams come in just hitting .214 against Nelson. That's where, again, sometimes the record could fool you. He's had some very good outings. Early in the year, you have one very poor outing, and that bumps up the ERA. But that opponent batting average, that's top 10 in the National League. 8th to be exact going into tonight's play.
It's been the walks and the home runs that he's given up 5 of them in his last couple of starts.
And looking for his 2nd win of the season. And the Brewers have won 8 of their last 13. They're taking some steps here to try to get out of this early season hole. And they've continued to play some pretty good baseball while continuing to play mix and match with the lineup card. 2-2 pitch. Soft liner. Jeanette will go ahead and flip it, a little dangerously so, but it gets there and the job is done. The inning is over. So the White Sox still lead 3-0. Brewers come to bat, bottom of the 3rd. And Casino.
Hey, on Friday, May 29th, the Brewers host the Diamondbacks, and after the game, Grammy-nominated country artist Joe Nichols will be here. He'll perform a free post-game concert featuring all of his biggest hits, including Sunny in 75, Gimme That Girl, and Yeah. For tickets, I know a couple others, but I'm not going to bore you. Visit Brewers.com/concerts.
They wouldn't bore me. Again, appreciate it. Earlier in the week, we're up here diligently preparing for a game, and you had a little Joe Nichols going on your iPad.
One of my favorites is the title. I'm not sure we can say on television, actually.
No, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and I would agree with you. And there's Hector Gomez as we segue somewhat smoothly into a stand-up double for Hector Gomez. Maybe it wasn't that smooth, but it is a double.
I'm going to show some rare restraint for once. But anyway, Hector Gomez slices one down that right field line. So Gomez continues to swing a good bat. The way he stands up there tall, and he generates some leverage. Hits that one hard out of the reach of LaRoche and down the corner for a double.
It's hard not to get excited about Hector Gomez.
Right.
Some of the things he brings to a party here. Strong arm. Saw it on display last night a couple times. Punches one down the line for a double, and here's Scooter Gennett. showing bunts and down a strike.
And the thing I like most about Hector, he's always ready to play. You talk to Craig Counsell about Hector and all the other things that he will provide for you. You know, the speed, the power, the throwing arm. Craig always says he's ready to play no matter if he's starting, whether he's coming off the bench. He's always eager to get in the lineup and is prepared to get going.
And showing it with that double, the first hit of the night for the Brew Crew. Brewers spotting the White Sox's early lead. Chicago getting its runs in the first. Well, Jeanette originally not on the lineup card, but Craig Counsell had to shuffle things. Gene Segura with the sore pinky that we thought occurred in the triple that he hit in the first inning last night. So Hector Gomez, who was going to start at second, slides to short, and Scooter now in the lineup as he gets an opportunity against a left-handed starter.
Yeah, two lefties in there, Lind and Jeanette. It's a shame to see Segura out of the lineup. He's been swinging it well.
Jeanette, just his 8th at bat against left-handed pitching, looking for his first hit against a southpaw. Breaking ball in the dirt. Brewers trying to continue a stretch here where they at worst split a series, which is what they did with the Dodgers in this homestand, but surrounding that split, their series wins against the Cubs, and now trying to do the same to the White Sox. And Jeanette goes down swinging, and already 5 strikeouts for Jose Quintana.
And Scooter not able to make contact and advance the base runner. Of course, a little bit different situation when you have the pitcher coming up. I guess you're thinking about driving the baseball, but Quintana able to get a fastball by him. Got him on the inner half of the plate.
One out. Hector Gomez, the runner at second for the pitcher Jimmy Nelson. He swings away.
Yeah, why not? He's already in scoring position with good speed. No chance to turn a double play, so let him hack.
See, 1 hit and 10 at bats for Jimmy Nelson so far this year. He's quickly down 0-2. Faces his counterpart Jose Quintana, who has worked 200 innings each of the last 2 years.
They just signed a 5-year deal.
Yeah, he is good to go for this organization. As I think there were some who thought of him as more of a back of the rotation type of starter, but that opinion of him has changed and for the better. You have Smarja, Sale, Quintana. That's a pretty good 1-2-3 punch. And there is another strikeout as Nelson goes down swinging. And 2 men out here in the third. Here's Elian Herrera. Back to the top of the order. Elian is hitting tonight. Again, that goes back to the late scratch of Segura, who was set to be the leadoff man, but now Herrera gets the call. 6th consecutive start for Elian at third base. Quintana originally signed with the Mets back in 2006, but was suspended, did not play in 2007. Was in violation of the baseball drug prevention program. He was signed by the Yankees organization in 2008 and then eventually landed with the White Sox back in November of 2011. It's been a good find here for this White Sox organization.
Well, the White Sox made a number of different deals over the offseason. They figured they were going to be in contention. It just got off to a miserable start. They just couldn't do anything right. The defense not very good. They weren't hitting many homers. Got a long way to go to jump back.
1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball to third. That is Gordon Beckham, and the throw is in time, and that'll do it for the Brewers here in the third to get their first hit. But that's it. 3-0 White Sox after 3. Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Move to the fourth. White Sox leading the Brewers 3-0. And Adam LaRoche, who homered in the first inning. Part of back-to-back home runs. Garcia, then LaRoche. Mentioned the consistency in his game, the 20-plus homers in 9 of the last 10 years. You can take it a step further. 25-plus homers LaRoche has with 4 different teams. The Nats, the Diamondbacks, the Pirates, and the Braves. He's been a good get. Also has a Gold Glove in his resume going back 3 years ago. 2-strike pitch from Jimmy Nelson. Fastball high. The 1-2. And that'll do it for Adam LaRoche, out number 1 here in the fourth.
Yeah, there's that good slider that we've been talking about with Jimmy Nelson. Not only is Adam LaRoche a prolific home run hitter, I mean, he hits home runs, but tremendous defensive first baseman. I mean, he helps your defense, which is somewhat of a surprise that the White Sox have been so poor defensively so far.
Again, we have seen some of that from the White Sox in this series, some choppy play. It was really evident Monday. They had a couple of errors and then a couple of others that were ruled hits, but plays that maybe could have been made but were rightly ruled hits. Joe Samardzija, to be sure, gave up some hard hit balls, but didn't have a lot of help behind him at times. Alexi Ramirez, he grounded to second. That ended the first inning for the White Sox, and he has a base hit to left here in his second at bat. He'll extend his hitting streak to 8 games. He's getting his average trending the right way. Came in hitting .241.
And for all the mistakes that Nelson's made tonight have come on the fastball. The 2 homers, the 2 singles. They haven't been able to figure out that breaking pitch yet.
Nelson will face Gordon Beckham. This is the first start of the series for Beckham. Had a walk-off single on Sunday to beat Cincinnati. White Sox were able to win 2 out of 3 in that series. Beckham lined out to Adam Lind in the second inning. From here, the White Sox move on to Oakland. It's their road trip, 3-game series that will start on Friday night before they come home for a 7-game homestand, 4 with the Indians and then 3 more with the Twins.
He's off to a rough start. 13-22, the Oakland A's.
Yeah, that's been, we're talking about a team that was a playoff team a year ago. A lot of moving parts to that organization. Lost what, 8 of their last 10. They said 8.5 behind the Astros, who have been a big story in the other direction with and they're a little more up and down of late, but still leading the West by 4 games. In fact, it's the only team in that division above 500.
It's got to be the biggest surprise of any team in baseball so far. I know it's early, but off to a great start. Their pitching's been very good.
Yes, it has been. And another, and I think you would call it a surprise, the start that the Mets have had, 20-13. They've been really good at home, and that's, of course, where the Brewers will be this weekend. Going to New York, they are 13-3, the Mets are, in their home ballpark. As Craig Counsell will be on his first road trip as a manager. Nelson ready with a 2-strike pitch to Gordon Beckham. And a double play chance here. There's 1. And there's 2. 6-4-3. Inning over. We are through 3.5 at Miller Park with the White Sox leading 3-0. Proud to team up with AYSO, the world's largest soccer club. Go to ayso.org/play to find your region and sign up for your fall team today. 2, 3, and 4 hitters of the Brewers order. Chris Davis, Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez here against Jose Quintana, who has allowed just 1 hit through the first 3. And that hit was a leadoff double. Hector Gomez in the 3rd inning, but the Brewers could not bring him around.
Yeah, second time through. Let's see what Quintana, what adjustments he's going to make. What adjustments this Brewers offense is going to make. Not a whole lot of familiarity. Offenses to the specific pitchers tonight.
2-strike pitch, misses inside. Yeah, the one start Quintana had against the Brewers, that was 3 years ago. And he and Mike Fiers had the good pitching duel back in June of 2012. Quintana worked 8 innings, scattered 6 hits. So again, the White Sox went on to win in 10, 1-0. And a couple of good pitching duels in that series when they last met 3 years ago. A couple of 1-0 games.
Mm-hmm.
Two balls, 2 strikes. The Brewers left fielder. Davis hanging in. Quintana with 6 strikeouts here through the first 3. Came in with 29 punch-outs compared to 9 walks through his first 6 starts. Again, the 2-2.
Quintana has that little hesitation when he starts his delivery that can mess you up a little bit if you haven't seen him too much. Starts and kind of stops.
Here's the payoff. Fly ball that'll carry foul.
And just his way of making sure that he stays balanced on that back leg before he starts to fire to home plate. That's the key right there, that high leg kick. You see how well he is on balance before he starts his delivery toward home plate. That's the key to a consistent release point.
Again, the 3-2. Irv fouled off.
This is his way of slowing himself down and making sure he does come on balance before he comes to home plate. Every pitcher does it a little bit differently. That can mess with your timing a little bit if you haven't seen much of them.
Davis battling. Yeah, I imagine, Rock, you can look at all the video, but until you see him that first time through, I mean, the video can obviously help you. The scouting obviously helps you, but until you see it up against it, it's just a little different story.
Yeah, look at video. You see tendencies where he likes to pitch in or work away, what pitches he has, but you don't really know what the pitches do when they get into the strike zone.
It's a good at bat for Davis. Worked him for a walk here to start the 4th. First walk given up by Jose Quintana, and here's Ryan Braun. And going into this game, no Brewer in the lineup had more than 6 at-bats against this guy. Obviously, Adam Lind would be the most recent. But now they go through this lineup the second time. Let's see how things work out for the Crew.
Last time Quintana got Braun on a comebacker on a changeup. Pretty good changeup down and away.
Brewers get the leadoff man aboard for the second straight inning. Gomez a double in the 3rd. Davis a walk here in the 4th.
Actually, the comebacker didn't even make it to the pitcher. It was Flowers that handled it. Yeah. I mean, he got it right off the end, and Flowers able to make the play. A 2-3 put out. Got the orange fingernail polish on there so he can hang the sides. Quintana can see him. We used to put tape around the fingers.
I'm just going to ask you how how much you had to do something like that just to.
Never did the fingernail polish.
You stayed away from that?
Still haven't.
Thanks for sharing. 2-1 to Braun. He's driven in 6 runs in the homestand, including the game winner on the first game of the stand against the Dodgers. Infield hit that scored Gomez. And comeback in the first game as manager for Craig Counsell. The Brewers rallied after falling behind Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers 3-0. Eventful last week and a half, to say the least.
Yeah, good first week for the new Brewers skipper.
See him playing some pretty good baseball. Not perfect, but as he has talked about, they've gotten some what you would truly define as team wins. The first game of this series, the Brewers jumped to an early 6-0 lead. White Sox rally, tied the game at 7, and then Elian Herrera with a 2-run homer. Davis a solo shot. Brewers finding ways to win games that they had not been in the first few weeks of the season. And this is a double play ball. 4-6-3 on Hasio Ramirez LaRoche. 2 men out.
And another off speed pitch. Braun able to wait back a little bit, but had a little bit of movement going down. Check it out. Braun out in front a little bit. Almost looked like he took a little bit off a cut fastball. 81 miles an hour and an easy double play.
2 men out, bases empty in the 4th. Quintana will work against Carlos Gomez. He struck out and took a hard spin into the turf his first time up. First time you see it, you're taken aback by it. I'm sure it'll be shown a lot at first at bat for Gomez tonight, but that's who he is. He's going to take real hard cuts. And you're right, Rock. You brought up the point his first at bat. That helmet doesn't fly off when he's making contact. It does if on a swing and a miss.
Because the head stays still.
Yeah.
Doesn't move as much.
Carlos wanted that one back.
Yeah, that was a very hittable fastball. 91 out over the plate, and those are the ones you can't miss. I mean, you get a pitch like that to hit. Carlos fouled it off, and you don't get those pitches too often.
On Monday, his first time in the cleanup slot. First at bat, he homered. Goes off Jeff Smarja. 2-2 pitch. Quintana ready with a payoff. He's trying to battle him as Chris Davis did when he worked him for a walk to start this 4th.
Well, 63 pitches right now for Quintana in the 4th inning. He got that pitch count up quite a bit his last time out. 5 innings, 107 pitches.
He's in a loss to the Detroit Tigers. Gave up a couple of runs. In the air, right field. That's Garcia on the run, makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Brewers here in the 4th. And we are through 4 with the White Sox still leading 3-0.
and Casino. We go to the top of the 5th, the White Sox with a 3-0 lead, and you can join Brewers pitcher Matt Garza and his teammates for the Brewers Bowl-a-thon on Sunday, July 19th. You can enjoy a VIP reception, silent auction, and of course bowling with Brewers players while raising money for the Sojourner Family Peace Center, a safe haven for abused women and children. For more information, please visit brewers.com/beyondthediamond or call 414-902-4532. And we also want to take this time to thank everyone who participated in the BCF Ultimate Auction. A great amount of money was raised, more than $25,000 for BCF throughout the 14 Brewers experiences. And Grab Grub with Brian and Bill got a big offer, over $3,000 for that one. So we want to thank everyone who participated in the Ultimate Auction and throughout all of BCF Week here at Miller Park.
Wow.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's some pressure now. It's going to have to be entertaining.
BA is going to have to. Have we decided what he's going to do? A little extra, bring it to the party, or should we suggest that publicly? The extras.
Just come up with stuff when the time comes and tell them that we promised it.
Just kind of wing it.
He's not going to know.
And I know you want to thank Augie for all the help that he's going to provide for the fan camp, Brewer fan camp.
At the Brewers Fantasy Camp, we did offer up an instructional after the games. You know, we don't do those anymore.
Right.
We do the big money moment out at the set, but we will do an instructional. Jerry Augustine and myself, and the winner of the Fantasy Camp in the BCF auction. They'll be out there with us.
That'll be good. Bring it back, a one night only extravaganza. There he is.
Craig Kashan will be involved somehow. I'm not sure how he's going to be involved, but he's involved in everything.
Including ignoring us, and wisely so. Tyler Flowers leading off the 5th here for the White Sox.
So what do they do between the pregame show and the postgame show?
They are watching this game very closely, as a matter of fact.
Keeping an eye on it. I'm not sure what that means.
He'll fill you in on Brewers Live postgame.
Yeah.
There's a rocket that will go out of play. And bounces right back in off one of the empty seats down the line. Thank goodness, because that would have hurt.
That was a rocket.
You guys do have fun.
That's a good segment down there, the Menards Big Money Moment. We just start talking baseball, and you're never quite sure what's going to develop out of that initial story.
Which is what makes it fun, the unpredictability. There's a base hit for Flowers to lead off the 5th for the White Sox.
Got Kashan laughing so hard last night he couldn't even send it to break. I had to do it.
That is one of the most helpless feelings you can have in this business. You start laughing, you can't stop, and then you know that no one around you is going to help you much. Although you did by throwing it to break last night.
I tried to do what I could.
There's Jose Quintana. There's a couple of sack bunts in his career, and he'll add another one here. That's well executed. Flowers to second.
Well, that's a victory when you have an American League guy, a pitcher going up there at the plate, dropping down a bunt to advance a base runner. You don't expect pitchers to get hit, just advanced base runners when they're asked.
Yeah, not a ton of opportunities for him. Quintana with 14 official at-bats coming into this game, and 2 sacrifices, gets his 3rd there, and now a runner in scoring position is 3rd time through now for Chicago. Here is Adam Eaton. Walked and scored a run in the 1st. Grounded to Adam Lind in the 3rd. All the runs here in the 1st inning for the White Sox. Started with Eaton's walk, came around on a sacrifice fly from Melky Cabrera, and then Avi Garcia and Adam LaRoche hit back-to-back homers.
And it all started with the only walk issued by Jimmy Nelson.
White Sox with 5 hits in this game, just 1 so far for Milwaukee. And the big night for Eaton was on Monday when he went 4 for 5, also reached on an error. He has a 5-year deal with his ball club.
He's a tough out. I mean, you might be able to get him out, but he's going to make you work.
Had 10 triples last year. Led the American League. Has 1 so far this season. 2-strike pitch. Curve is away. Wilson trying to keep this at 3-0 here as you see Flowers, the runner off the bag at second. Curve is swung on and missed, and they'll complete the strikeout. 2 men out here in the 5th.
Man, the breaking pitch has been a good one, whether it's the curveball or the slider for Jimmy Nelson. All the damage has come on the fastball. There's a good hook. Down in the dirt, smothered nicely by Maldonado, and they get the out at first base. That curveball going straight down. That's a beauty.
Well, when he introduced everybody to that spike curveball as in that first outing of the year for him against the Pirates, it had Pittsburgh totally baffled. 7 innings, gave up just 2 hits. That helped the Brewers to their victory over Pittsburgh, and it's been a season of rematches here for Nelson that'll finally be broken up here in the coming days. But starts 1-2 against the Pirates, 3-4 against the Reds, 5-6 against the Cubs.
Yeah, and always the first start against each team has been better than the second. His next start's going to be against the Tigers, which is no walk in the park.
Emilio Bonifacio with a bouncer to Jeanette, and good work by Nelson. Flowers leadoff single, but he cannot score, and it's still 3-0 White Sox. Offensively, our Carsoup.com trivia question. Which managers of the Brewers and the White Sox appeared in a benches clearing brawl back on July 5th, 1995? Kind of hard to believe that was 20 years ago when Phil Garner and Terry Bevington had at it. Rock, you were here. I'm still trying to figure out how this whole thing started with Ozzie Guillen at third.
Yeah, the slide. Ozzie Guillen didn't like something about Jeff Cirillo's tag, and things kind of got out of hand. Doug Manzolino, the third base coach, started to get into it. Phil Garner and Bevington started to mix it up. And then Garner and Manzanillo, who ended up being a coach for Garner a couple years later. Old scrap iron.
Yeah.
Don't mess with him.
Living up to the nickname here. That is classic stuff.
Yeah, there's never been any love lost between these two organizations.
Adam Lind with a fly ball to center that Adam Eaton has tracked. First out of the inning. There's nothing wrong with the good old-fashioned rivalry. I don't like you, you don't like me, let's go play. And,
what it ended up with, that whole thing, was the coaches and managers. That's what got it going. It looked like, Isaac Ian was walking off the field. Cirillo was done. And then, the coaches, Manzanillo, and then, had Garner coming out, and then Bevington. And it's not often you see the, voices of reason, the coaches and managers mixing it up like that.
Yeah, they decided to throw out the voice of reason there. It was kind of difficult. I mean, you have emotional players there, and Ian, certainly was somebody who kind of let you know how he felt, but it wasn't like Cirillo was like trying to rough him up over at third.
Just kind of fell down on him,
yeah.
And Ian didn't like it, but it kind of ended right there. It didn't go much further.
Yeah, benches clearing incidents you'll see a lot of them in baseball already this year, but when the managers are I was going to say barking, but it went beyond that.
Yeah, they were biting.
That's right. Martin Maldonado took a called third strike in the second inning. It's Jose Quintana, very impressive here so far for the White Sox. Been good and someone that Ventura can count on. 200 innings each of the last 2 years. 33 starts 2 years ago, 32 last season. 2-2 pitch. That is strike three called. Maldonado's looked at a couple of called third strikes.
Yeah, both of them on the inside corner. You just never know if Quintana's going to be going away or coming in, and he's been able to find that inside corner pretty effectively so far today. Has not really made any mistakes on the inside corner, but when he has left one out over the plate, the Brewers haven't fouled it off. You can't do that. You got to take advantage of the mistakes.
Just one hit, and it was by this man, Hector Gomez, a double down the right field line, and this has popped up. And this will be LaRose calling for it. And a 1-2-3 inning here for the Brewers, and we are through 5. It's still 3-0 White Sox.
And that brings us to tonight's time of the game when the rails stop in Waterford if they call the Brewers. In the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. Offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Melky Cabrera leads off here for the White Sox as we move to the top half of the 6th inning. Cabrera, a sacrifice fly to bring home the first run of the night. And also singled in the 3rd. Came in with an 0 for 15 skid going, but able to snap out of that. Nelson misses with a curveball, 1-1. The first inning was the rough one. But Nelson has settled down since. Should also mention too, I'll remind you if you've been watching throughout, but if you're just checking in, those back-to-back homers, the pitch to Garcia that he sent out over the wall, that was a pretty good piece of hitting. Rock, as you mentioned, that was not a big fat one. Garcia just went down and got it.
Yeah, it had the plate, but it was down. You're right. I mean, he leveled that bat, knocked it out of here on a line to center field.
And a line out from Cabrera. And brings us down to our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and it is those White Sox back-to-back homers. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it had the plate, but it was down in the zone. But Garcia able to go down and get it, line it out of here, and then Adam LaRoche on a 3-1 pitch. Not a good pitch by Nelson. He ends up hitting that one out of here to center.
So that has helped the White Sox to this advantage that they have right now. And LaRoche on deck. 3-5-0 for the White Sox. No runs, a hit for the Brewers, and there's a hit for Garcia. His second of the night. Broken bat variety and one out base runner.
Yeah, pretty good pitch that time again for Nelson, and ends up being a hit. There's the bat. That's what's left of it. Bats didn't used to break like that. They used to crack, but very rarely would you see one just shatter in 2 pieces. Good fastball in on Garcia, and he's strong enough to muscle it into center field.
Continues to hit well. Avi Garcia. Now here's LaRoche. That home run that he hit in the first is his 4th of the year. Some veteran presence to this ball club. After 4 years with the Nationals.
And Nelson got him on a slider on a strikeout. Good pitch down and in.
And he's ahead 0-2 on him right now. Roche will be followed by Alexi Ramirez. They have the shift on for the first baseman. And Nelson ready with a 2-strike pitch. Nelson's job to hold the lead and then try to get this Brewers offense going in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The fly ball shallow left, and that'll be Chris Davis. 2 men out. Alexi Ramirez will stroll to the plate.
And Nelson's been pretty effective on the inside part of the plate. He was able to get in there on LaRoche that time, and a weak fly ball to left. Still throwing hard. Anywhere between 93 and 95. Hit 96 once in a while.
That pitch count approaching 90 as we are in the 6th inning. As you heard on Brewers Live pregame, though, this is a young man who, in the home ballpark, has pitched extremely well. He's pitching well tonight. Save for the back-to-back homers, and as we said, especially the second one to LaRoche. But a 2.05 ERA in his prior starts this season at Miller Park. Ramirez singled in the fourth inning. That extended his hitting streak to 8. Grounded to second. That ended the first inning. Had the big sacrifice fly in the 8th last night that broke a 2-2 tie. To left field. Davis will make the catch, and that'll do it for the White Sox. And they get a single from Garcia, nothing more. Bottom of the 6th, 3-0 Chicago. Get going here, hopefully, for the Crews. Saturday, MLB returns with another doubleheader of division rivalry, starting with the Braves taking on the Marlins, and the Pirates square off against the Cubs. Coverage starts at noon Central on your home for baseball every Saturday. Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 8, 9, and 1 in the order here for Milwaukee. Scooter Gennett struck out in the 3rd, leads things off. 7 strikeouts so far tonight for Jose Quintana. Only hit a Hector Gomez double to lead off the 3rd.
Yeah, Brewers only 3 hits in last night's game. So these 2 White Sox lefties have done a pretty good job on this offense.
Yeah, Chris Sale last night, and so far Jose Quintana tonight. Track of Central, the Cardinals falling to the Indians tonight, 2-0.
See Corey Kluber today.
How about that? They finally won a game that Kluber started, and all he did was strike out 18.
One hitter,
Johnny Peralta. That was it. Gennett, a swing and a miss, and he is down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. Corey Kluber, last year's Cy Young winner, wins for the first time this season. The Indians win with him on the mound for the first time this season, and it's one you stamp tonight. 8 innings, just the 1 hit, a Peralta single, 18 strikeout game. Been a while.
And 19 strikeouts overall. Allen came in, struck out a batter. You know, the Cardinals, they make pretty good contact. I mean, it's not easy to strike out 19 St. Louis Cardinal hitters.
Yeah, they are the best hitting team in the National League. 274, just a couple of points ahead of the Dodgers. And that's the Cy Young winner from last year, back at it for the Indians tonight. Phillies beat the Pirates 3-2. Reds over the Braves 5-1. And the Mets lead the Cubs 1-0 in the 7th at Wrigley. 2-strike pitch to Jimmy Nelson. Eight strikeouts so far from Quintana. One of them being Nelson back in the 3rd. Just does get a piece. Brewers have been retired in order 3 times. Quintana faced the minimum in the 4th. Davis a leadoff walk. Braun rolled into a double play. And Gomez skied to left field. Here comes the 1-2. Little tapper. Beckham, bare hands, and completes the play. 2 men out. So we'll go back to the top of the order. See a little more on Elian Herrera, what he's been doing lately. Let's check in with Sophia.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, Elian Herrera, home runs for him in 3 straight games. So we take a look at our Powerball home run leaderboard, and there he is with 4 against, again, 3 of those coming in the past 3 nights. And talking with him before the game tonight, he said how much veterans like Carlos Gomez, Gerardo Parra, Aramis Ramirez have helped him in this stint with the team. He said they've just told him to be aggressive. We know how you can play, so you don't need to impress anyone up here. He said they told him to just relax, be the same guy that you were in spring training. And he said Gomez in particular helping him with his approach. He said, hey, it's better to be out in front of the ball than to be late. So continue to swing early in counts, keep swinging, stay consistent in your approach. No surprise there that Gomez is going to tell him to keep swinging. But he said, you know, it's pushed him a lot to be one of the last guys left off the roster at spring training. He's been that fringe guy the last 3 years. And so he said it's just really a blessing to be here, and he's thrilled to be contributing to the team this way.
And that's good advice from those guys, because you got to figure if you're Elian Herrera and you come up and, you know, the Brewers had to make a roster move. They sent Luis Jimenez out. They kept Herrera. So you figure Herrera's thinking every time he goes in there, he has to do something special. And, you know, when you feel like that every time you get a chance, that's when you press. And he's certainly been playing as though he's been pretty relaxed so far.
3 homers in the last 3 games. And you were talking yesterday, Rocky got to the ballpark yesterday, and there he is getting in some extra work and just doing everything he can to stay in that lineup as long as he can.
He was in that batting cage underneath the stadium, and long before, you know, the team took batting practice. It was about 3:30 yesterday. But Herrera's not the only guy that could be seen doing that before the game.
Herrera able to check. And a 2-2 count.
People think these guys show up about 4:30, get the uniform on, and you know, take batting practice. But they're here, you know, 1, 2 o'clock, looking at video. They're taking some swings in the cage. They're talking with Darnell Coles. Pitcher's doing the same thing.
To right field. Garcia going back and near the track. Makes the catch, and yet another 1-2-3 inning for Jose Quintana. Still 3-0 White Sox. original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. We are through 6, still 3-0. White Sox lead the Brewers. Series finale between these two teams. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Milwaukee Brewers, LLC. Gordon Beckham leading off here, 7, 8, and 9 in the White Sox order. Beckham is lined to first and hit into a 6-4-3 double play. It's a good hack and fouls it back. Originally a first-round pick of the White Sox was Beckham back in 2008. And this is the left center field, and this will fall. A base hit. Beckham a big turn on his way to second, and he is in there with a double. That's how the 7th inning begins here for Chicago.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes that Jimmy's made on a breaking pitch is that spike curveball that stays up in the zone. That was about letter high. Beckham saw it well and able to drive it into the gap. First hit the White Sox have been able to get off the breaking ball, whether it be the curveball or the slider today.
And his hit number 7 for the White Sox, and here's Tyler Flowers. He has one of those hits, a single to right, his last trip in the 5th. We're getting to that important point of the game here as the Brewers still trying to find some offense, and at the same time keep the White Sox to that run total of 3.
No activity in that Brewers bullpen. All quiet down there.
Fastball gets past him. Jimmy Nelson, who has settled down well after that first inning. A leadoff double from Gordon Beckham. A ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Got him swinging. Out number 1 here in the 7th.
That's a good pitch. That power sinker going down and in, and Flowers over the top of it. See, Maldonado setting up inside. Look at the way that pitch moves as it gets into the hitting zone. He's got something on at 92 and some big time movement to get him.
Big punch out there, and now the pitcher Jose Quintana.
It's only the 2nd strikeout for Jimmy Nelson.
Yeah.
And up 3rd. My mistake.
That's right. You got Eaton and LaRoche. Earlier on, there's a bouncer to Jeanette. And there are 2 men out. With Beckham moving to 3rd. Now it's back to the top of the order for the White Sox. And Adam Eaton walked and scored in the 1st. Ground ball to Adam Lind in the 3rd, and a strikeout in the 5th.
You got a part-time player in the on-deck circle, Bonifacio. Eaton, a 4-hit game, the first game of this series. Let's see how aggressive Nelson's going to be with him in the batter's box.
Four-hit game for him, and he drove in his first 2 runs of the year on Monday.
Be careful with this guy.
Yeah, the average at the moment 220, but he was a 300 hitter last season. the reason they have him in the leadoff spot. The reason they signed him to a 5-year deal is Brandon Kinsler getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. The 2-0.
Miles just put him on now.
Yeah, so he is being careful.
Doesn't look as though he's really interested in throwing them strikes. He's got one eye in that on-deck circle. You got Bonifacio there. See if the Brewers just put him on or take their chances with Adam Eaton.
I'm going to go ahead and pitch to him. And here it comes. Two men out. Gordon Beckham, the runner at third, led off this inning with a double to left center. Nelson brings the 3-1. And he's battled back. It's full.
Two perfect pitches on the outside corner.
Pitch count now at more than 100. See if he can get out of this. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And runners now at the corners. 3-0, got it full and then lost him. And now Rick Kranitz will come out for a visit. Brandon Kinsler warming up in the Milwaukee bullpen.
Kinsler appeared in last night's ball game, gave up a hit in the third of an inning.
Major point now in his ball game. A 3-0 deficit for the Crew now. The White Sox are 2 runners on.
Yeah, three runs seems like a lot with the way Quintana's throwing, let alone 4. Nelson allows this runner at third base to come across.
See if he can handle Bonifacio. He has so far tonight. Has gotten 3 ground balls from him. 1 to first, 1 to third, and the 5th inning grounded to Jeanette at second. Beckham the runner at third. Adam Eaton at first. Sharply hit. Jeanette knocks it down, but will not have a play. A run will score.
That play you got to make. They got there on the backhand, just couldn't hold it in the glove, and that is a big run that just came across home plate. That's a play that big league second baseman has to be able to make. We'll see how they score it. Going to give it a hit. Okay.
And there will be a pitching change here as Craig Counsell makes his way to the mound. We will see Brandon Kinsler. Well, Jimmy Nelson pitched pretty well tonight. That first inning, they were able to get to him. The back-to-back homers could have gotten out of this, but it did not turn out the way he wanted. We'll continue at Miller Park with the White Sox leading 4-0. Academy Hotel and Casino. Jimmy Nelson's night is done. 6 2/3 innings, a 4-0 game right now as he exits. And look at his night, the busiest night for him in terms of pitch count. 3 of those runs coming in the first, and he is responsible for the runners at first and second here for the White Sox, and we'll hope that Brandon Kinsler can end the inning.
Yeah, you like the way he was able to battle after a very rough first inning, and unfortunately gave up that 4th run here in the 7th inning as Kinsler comes on for the 3rd time this year. 675 earned run average. Brandon did not have a very good spring training, got sent to the minor leagues, and recently called up, pitched in last night's game. Gave up a hit in a 1/3 of an inning of work.
And Melky Cabrera will step to the plate. The sacrifice fly opened up the scoring in that first inning. Singled to left and lined to center. Adam Eaton, the runner, at second. Bonifacio at first. Infield hit for Bonifacio. Brings home Gordon Beckham with the 4th run of the night for the White Sox. Brewers will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order in the bottom of the 7th. And they have work to do. The 1-0.
One of the concerns the Brewers have had about Kinsler is the fact that he's really dropped in velocity over the last couple of years. When he first came up with the Brewers, I mean, he was throwing in the mid to upper 90s. I mean, he would be at 95, 96 right now, about 91, 92. Makes a big difference.
And there it is, 91 and behind. In the count to Melky Cabrera. Avi Garcia on deck. Their best hitter. Look at the average, the batting average, well over 300. And he is also homered tonight. Brewers trying to avoid him here in the 7th. Cabrera with his 1 for 2 night has his average at 248. And the bases are loaded. Asking for trouble. There's Avi Garcia, homered in the first inning and singled to center in the 6th. A real danger zone now for the Brewers.
Yeah, Kinsler relies on fastballs down in the strike zone. Remember what Garcia did with a low fastball from Jimmy Nelson in the first inning.
Yep, put it over the wall in center. A tough matchup here for Brandon Kinsler. Let's see how he fares. Garcia with that homer has 3 on the year. 2 hits. He now has 13 multi-hit games on the season. 2 for 5 last night. To right field, and that is a foul ball.
Yeah, good thing that might have cleared the bases right there. Kinsler able to get in on his hands, but again, strong enough to fight it off. He did that his last time up against Jimmy Nelson. Fought off a fastball in and was able to reach. Almost did the same thing there.
1-1 the count. Garcia has hit safely in 16 of his last 18 games. He's had a hitting streak as long as 9 so far this year, from late April to May 3rd. Very consistent. That's why that average is at 325. And even better since the third week of April, where that averages closer to 360. A ball, 2 strikes. The White Sox right fielder.
It's a big man, isn't it? 6'4", 240.
Put together. Hurt early last year, diving for a ball. Missed a good chunk of the season. Off to a very good start at the plate here in 2015. Toward labrum in April, trying to make a diving catch. He was out until the middle of August. Kinsler ready with a 1-2. Got him swinging. That is a big strikeout there for Brandon Kinsler. The White Sox get a run, but they leave him loaded. 7th inning stretch, 4-0 White Sox. Courtesy of Columbia St. Mary's, as he has given up just 1 hit in this ball game.
Yeah, 2 base runners through 6 innings. 8 strikeouts. Brewers had a man in scoring position, a leadoff double by Hector Gomez in the 3rd, but stranded him there.
Chris Davis, Ryan Braun, and Carlos Gomez here in the Brewers half of the 7th. Quintana picking up where Chris Sale left off last night. Just foul at 3rd. Davis is grounded to short. Mentioned walked in the 4th.
And doing it very similarly to what Chris Sale did. I mean, a lot of fastballs in, change-ups, mixing in the breaking ball. Of course, Quintana doesn't throw 96 miles an hour.
Take a look at the plate, presented by Wendy's, what Chris has done.
But he's been equally effective as Chris Sale tonight.
A ball, 2 strikes. Jimmy Nelson went 6 2/3. Gave up 4 runs, 8 hits. 1-2. Davis in the hole. Stabbed by Ramirez, and a long throw. Not in time. Davis on to begin the 7th.
It took Ramirez a little bit long time to get rid of that baseball. I think he thought he had a little bit more time than he did. Didn't seem to have any sense of urgency once he was able to pick that one hopper. Took his time with it, and then he short hops his first baseman. A bang bang play, and Chris Davis called safe.
Just able to get there, so Be an infield single. And the second hit of the night for Milwaukee. There's Ryan Braun stepping into the plate.
That looked pretty close.
That was very close. Yep.
that last angle looked a little bit different than the first one.
You know, what I was doing there was trying to get Braun in. There you go. Get in there, Ryan. Ready to roll.
Hurry up.
Yep. Snap the ball. First pitch to Braun, a good cut. And the first hit since the third inning for the Crew. Second hit overall tonight. And you see that sledding here for Brawny. He took an 0 for 4 last night, struck out a couple of times. See if that Davis infield single starts something. Braun down 0-2. A fair amount of good pitching. Looking at scores, Mets still lead the Cubs 1-0 in the 8th. That's in Corey Kluber's night for the Indians. And shut out of the Cardinals. Cole Hamels the winner for the Phillies. They beat the Pirates 3-2. Held Pittsburgh to just 6 hits. 2-strike pitch to Braun.
Tyler Flowers not sure how he wanted to catch that one. Watch the glove. Up. Look over one thing, got another. Expecting that pitch to break down and in. It didn't.
A ball, 2 strikes. That's in the dirt. See Quintana's pitch count now approaching 100, sitting at 94 at the moment. Some bullpen activity for the White Sox.
Pretty good pen down there for the White Sox.
It's Jake Petrichka and Dan Jennings starting to get loose. An area this White Sox team they really wanted to improve on, that bullpen. They have a very good closer now. Saw him last night, David Robertson, along with a chopper foul. A breaking ball.
Yeah, coming into tonight's game, the starting rotation with a 5 earned run average, 5.03. Reliever is 3.64.
Saw Robertson last night, the former Yankee. Set the Brewers down in order in the 9th inning. Davis an infield single to lead off this 7th inning for Milwaukee. 2-2 pitch to Braun. And Ryan's worked him to a full count. Brewer offense trying to get something going for the first time here in this ball game. Put 10 on the board Monday night. A 10-7 victory in the opener of this series. Quintana ready with the payoff. Bouncing ball, and it is through. A base hit. Davis will stop at second, and the first 2 are on for the Brewers in the 7th.
Good battle for Ryan Braun. He got down in the count 0-2, and then it was a battle. The battle was on. He took some pitches down in the dirt. A chopper over the mound and into center field. So the Brewers have something going in the 7th. Longest outing for Quintana, 7 innings. He's done it twice. Pitch count starting to get up there for him.
And Don Cooper, the pitching coach, will have a chat. The biggest pitch count was his last outing. I mentioned earlier, only 5 innings against the Tigers, but the pitch count hit 107. As White Sox will have Quintana continue to work. He has Gomez with Lind on deck. So opportunity knocks here for Milwaukee in the bottom half of the 7th, down by 4. Gomez in that cleanup spot as he has been throughout this series.
He's had some pretty good fastballs to hit tonight, but has fouled them off. I'd like to see him connect with one of those.
Look at the last 14 games, the Brewers have homered 23 times. Only the Dodgers have matched that number in that 14-game stretch. The diving stop made by Bonifacio, and the throw to first is in time. Good play by Emilio Bonifacio as the runners move up.
Yeah, filling in for Micah Johnson tonight over at second base, and good angle in that baseball, able to keep it in the glove and able to get Gomez at first base. But the runners are able to advance, so a base hit should score 2. So a productive out for Gomez. But that wasn't his intention.
No. Good play by Bonifacio, but Davis moves to third, Braun to second, and Adam Lind is the hitter. Lind came into the game in the top 10 in slugging percentage. His batting average right now at .301. Trying to get going though. He's 0 for his last 13. Yeah, good time to snap out of it right now.
And against lefties has been pretty good going to the opposite field, not trying to pull the baseball.
Lind not in the lineup last night against Sale, but back out there tonight. A swing and a miss. There's 2 Brewers reached. Infield single for Davis. Single to center from Braun. Gomez had one taken away and a diving stop by the second baseman Emilio Bonifacio. 1-2. Lind able to hold up.
See, Lind having a difficult time keeping that front shoulder closed. He wants to pull that front shoulder to get that bat head out, and Quintana continues to pitch him away.
Another strong area of late for the Brewers. Their average with runners in scoring position last 2 weeks plus .371. Big chance here for Lind. And he goes down swinging. 2 men out. Make it 9 strikeouts tonight for Quintana.
A steady diet of fastballs away, but this time a slider. And Flowers doing a good job of keeping it in front of him. You see that front shoulder leaking out a little bit, and when you do that, it's difficult to cover that outside corner.
So it's up to Martin Maldonado to extend the inning. It's 9 strikeouts, a season high for Quintana. He had 8 in his last outing against the Tigers. Tough night so far for Martin. He has looked at a called third strike both in the 2nd and the 5th innings.
And both times in there, Quintana really concentrating on keeping the ball in on Martin Maldonado.
Get an idea of how they're working him. Looks like they want to keep working him that way. Quintana is on his game, and Martin Maldonado down, a ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, fastballs in, soft stuff's outer half, and down in the zone.
Here comes the 1-2. Flowers needs to block that pitch. Red Sox with 3 runs in the first, scored 1 in the top of the 7th. Brewers threatening. First real threat of the night. Rick Council's team has managed only 3 hits in the game, 2 here in this inning. Here's the 2-2. Had bullpen activity in that Chicago pen. See if this would be the final inning for Quintana. First, we'll see if Maldonado can extend this frame.
Yeah, had a good pitch to hit. That last pitch down the middle of the plate, about belt high. There you see it right there.
Maldonado goes down on strikes. And Quintana gets out of trouble. The first 2 Brewers reach, but they cannot come around. Still 4-0 White Sox after 7.
Heading out for a 10-game road trip. The Brewers come home on Memorial Day to kick off a 3-game series against the defending World Series champion Giants. That's Monday, May 25th through Wednesday, the 27th. Call 414-902-4000 or go to Brewers.com.
Well, Brewers miss an opportunity in the 7th. Brandon Kinsler, who came on in relief of Jimmy Nelson to finish off the 7th, stays in there for the 8th for Milwaukee.
Yeah, huge strikeout to Avi Garcia with the bases loaded. The Brewers missing a golden opportunity, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Could have got themselves right back in the game.
Jose Quintana able to pitch out of it. It'll be Adam LaRoche, Alexi Ramirez, and Gordon Beckham at the top of the 8th for Chicago. Well, the White Sox mentioned that road record, and obviously they have not won a series away from U.S. Cellular. The Brewers will need a comeback to keep the White Sox winless in road series this year. 3-run first for Chicago. It included back-to-back homers from Avi Garcia and this man, LaRoche. He's now reached safely in his last 11 games. As his average at .235, 4 homers. He's driven in 13. Here's the 1-1. So an opportunity here for Brandon Kinsler to gain a little rhythm back.
They tried a changeup right there. That's a pitch that he started throwing a couple of years ago against left-handers. There's something off speed to the lefties and just missed it off the outside corner.
Here's the 3-1. And he went around, full count. And Roche, in addition to the home run, struck out in the 4th and a fly ball to left in the 6th. 8 hits for the White Sox. The Brewers with just 3, and 2 of them in the 7th. Here's the 3-2. And we'll do it again.
It's going to be a long night for the White Sox tonight. They fly all the way out to Oakland and they play tomorrow. Got a night game in Oakland against the A's tomorrow night.
They are just 3-12 away from home. They got their 3rd win last night. And a leadoff walk here in the 8th. As Adam LaRoche reaches. And now Kinsler will face Alexi Ramirez. Well, the Brewers concluding this 10-game homestand tonight. Split with the Dodgers, 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. And they'll have to rally to get 2 out of 3 here against the White Sox. The shortstop, Ramirez, his 4th inning single extends his hitting streak to 8. Grounded to second in the 1st, a fly ball to left in inning number 6. Kinsler with a 1-0. Not in front.
And nice breaking pitch. Slider from Kinsler, 83 miles an hour. Ramirez sitting dead red thinking fastball, and Kinsler able to throw a strike with the slider.
Ramirez, an all-star last year. Hit 15 homers. Drove in 74. And a chance for 2. There's 1. And the throw over to Lind, a double play, 6-4-3. 2 men out here in the 8th. Let's check out what's on tap. Presented by Miller Lite. Brewers hit the road. Big 3-city trip, and it all starts on Saturday, or Friday actually is when they'll start. Kyle Loesch and Bartolo Colon on Friday. Saturday's matchup, Kyle Loesch and Jacob deGrom. Willie Peralta and Noah Syndergaard. Very highly regarded prospects in the Mets organization. Those are your matchups, and of course on Friday it will all start at 5:30 right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
The ageless one, Bartolo Colon, starting out with a 6-1 record.
How about that? We're going to get the full gap of experience, or the full range of experience. Bartolo Colon on Friday night and Syndergaard on Sunday. He debuted last night against the Cubbies. Pitched well early, and then the Cubs were able to break through on him. And he took a loss. But he is a very highly regarded prospect. One of the next big things, if you will, in Major League Baseball. There's a few of them going on right now across the big leagues.
As if deGrom's not, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, then there's him in the middle.
They were saying that about him last year.
A ball, 2 strikes to Gordon Beckham. He started the 7th inning with a double. Came around to score before eventually Brandon Kinsler was able to strike out Avi Garcia with the bases loaded. 2-2 pitch. And another full count. Bottom of the order for the Brewers in the home half of the 8th inning. Tyler Flowers waits on deck. Kinsler trying to finish off the White Sox in the 8th inning. And he does. Strike 3 called. Beckham was thinking ball 4. Instead, it's strike 3, and that'll do it for the White Sox in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, still 4-0 Chicago.
Going up against a couple of tough lefties, but Hector Gomez due up here. Our Marshfield Clinic shining moment for him. He had a double earlier.
Yeah, we talked so much how these bench players have stepped up and done real well. You talked about Gomez hitting the double to start off the inning, and I think he's doing real well. You got to always hit with runners in scoring position, hitting .375.
Man, thinking about bunting to get on. We've got Brewers Live postgame coming up on the way. We'll hear from Craig Counsell and the crew and see if we can set them off with a victory, Matt.
All right, Craig, Augie, thanks much. And yeah, you're right. Gomez trying to get on any way he can right now. He doubled back in the 3rd inning. Brewers just trying to stack some base runners here. Jose Quintana has been terrific for the White Sox. Missed chance in the 7th inning. Quintana has given up just the 3 hits. 0-2 the count to Hector Gomez. That's well struck, and that will fall. A base hit to center, and it gets by Adam Eaton. Goes all the way to the wall. Gomez turns second. On his way to 3rd, and he is in there. Triple for Hector Gomez. And then the throw goes, the throw went off the back of his head.
Wow. One hop hit him right in the back of the head as he was right there at 3rd base. And that hit him square, too. Look at this at bat. How about that changeup? And Gomez doesn't try and pull it. He just drills it past Adam Eaton, and with his speed, able to get in easily into 3rd base. But then watch this. Baseball's going to hit him right in the back of the head. Ouch.
Man, unfortunately, it appears he's okay and will continue.
Not sure where Gordon Beckham was going. He was retreating into foul ground, and it looks like he's going to be all right. Second time he's led off with an extra base hit.
Yep, double in the 3rd, and now he stands at 3rd in the 8th. So now Craig Counsell will go to his bench.
And so will Robin Ventura.
Yeah, he'll go to his bullpen. Jason Rogers announced. And Robin Ventura will go ahead and make a change here as his starter, Jose Quintana, awfully good, 7+. But he will exit. The with Hector Gomez beginning the inning with a triple. We will continue as the Brewers trying to get something going, down 4-0. So Robin Ventura goes to his bullpen. Exit Jose Quintana. Enter Jake Petrichka.
Yeah, Petrichka pitched in both games of the doubleheader on Saturday against the Cincinnati Reds. Gave up a home run in game 1. Pitched a scoreless inning in game 2. A 5 earned run average. Petrichka is a guy that can get it up there in the mid-90s with a changeup and a slider.
There's Gomez, Hector Gomez. Started this inning with a triple to center. And now Jason Rogers will pinch hit. He was 4 for 14 with a homer in this role. Started at first last night against the left-hander Chris Sale. Now he faces Jake Petrichka. Second round pick of the White Sox back in the 2010 draft. A year ago he appeared in 67 games and racked up 14 saves along the way.
He got some sink on that fastball. He said he can get it up to about mid-90s, cruising speed about 92, 93.
Right there is that cruising speed, a 2-1 count. Well, the Brewers had their first 2 runners on in the 7th and couldn't bring him around. Hector Gomez starts the 8th with a triple. The Brewers trying to get on the board.
And these White Sox pitchers, they like to pitch inside. They really do. I mean, every one of them seems like they come in there and try and bust hitters inside, and it's been pretty effective in this series, at least in the last 2 games.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That's a little tapper, and that's Flowers. The catcher will make the play. 1 out. Hector Gomez has to hold a third.
Yeah, that ball might have hit him had he not swung at it. Up and in, going inside again, and jammed himself on a pitch out of the strike zone. Yeah, that's one of those he didn't want to swing at, but he started the bat and an easy out.
1 out for Gerardo Parra. Pinch hitting once again. As he did last night, drew a walk in the 8th inning as a pinch hitter. 4 for 8 in the role, and those 4 hits came consecutively. Bouncing ball. That's Bonifacio. Tough play, and beating it out is Gerardo Parra. As Hector Gomez scores to get the Brewers on the board as Parra again delivers in the pinch hitting role.
Well, beat that sinker in the ground, but able to beat it out. Bonifacio able to get to it up the middle, but not able to get enough on the throw to get him at first. Looks like he beat it. That'll be an RBI and a base hit. The Brewers with their 5th hit. So Quintana's night is done. He gives up a run.
So now the Brewers get on the board. Let's see if they can keep chipping away. Here's Elian Herrera. They crack at it from the left-hand side the first time tonight. Grand slam he hit was from the left side. The 3 home runs lately, all from the right side.
They're getting ready to say any way on to bring up the power in the batting order, but Herrera has provided power in the batting order. I'd like to get some base runners, get one of the guys in the middle of the order to knock one out of here and make this interesting.
Yep, you have Davis and Braun and Gomez, Adam Lind all lined up. See how deep they can go into that order. Jake Petrichka with a 1-1. Bouncing ball, and that's through a base hit. Gerardo Parra stops at second, and the Brewers are stacking runners here in the 8th.
Well, now you bring up that tying run. That's all you try and do. You manage a game and try and put yourself in a position to hit a homer, and a home run right now ties it up. Craig Counsell using his pinch hitters. Rogers not able to reach. Parra gets a hit. And now Herrera into right field with a base hit.
Well, there's how it looks. And another meeting on the mound here. Pitching coach Don Cooper heading out.
The next 3 hitters are right-handed, so I would imagine we're going to keep Petrichka in there. Yeah, double-barreled action down in that bullpen, I believe. A right-hander and a left-hander. Yep, there's Jennings.
Yep. Zach Putnam, the right-hander. There's the Brewers here in the inning. They get a leadoff triple from Hector Gomez. Jason Rogers unable to get on as he tapped out to the catcher, and then Gerardo Parra an infield pinch single, and Elian Herrera with a single to right. So the Brewers offense coming alive here a little bit. A couple of hits in the 7th. And now they have pushed a run across in the 8th and looking for more. Now they have some of their thumpers stepping in. Here's Davis. He was walked and an infield single in the 7th. A chance here for the Brewers. They have been quiet throughout the night, but a rally perhaps starting to happen here for the home team. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball to Ramirez at short. He bobbles to get the play at second, and the throw over to first. A double play. Like Ramirez had a little trouble getting it out of his glove. He did. And the White Sox turn 2, and in the inning, Brewers get a run, but still trail by 3. In left, Jason Rogers will be over at third. Elian Herrera moves from third to second. And now on the mound for the Crew will be Neil Kotz.
Yeah, he pitched in last night's ball game. 2/3, gave up a run on a base hit. 15th appearance for Kotz, earned run average at about 5.5. He has allowed the 4 home runs. He's got the bottom of the White Sox order to deal with. Got 8 the pitcher's spot, and then the top of the order.
Well, the one-time member of the White Sox organization in the World Series year, Neil Kotz, will face Tyler Flowers, who has singled in 3 trips to the plate tonight.
Yeah, pretty good job by Brandon Kinsler tonight. Walked a couple, struck out a couple, got a double play ball.
Yeah, it struck out. One of those strikeouts was against Avi Garcia with the bases loaded as Flowers sends one to shallow center, and Gomez will take it. Out number 1.
Hey, once again this season the Brewers have teamed up with Summerfest to bring you the Rock the Ballpark ticket package. For just $22, you'll get a ticket to a Brewers game and a general admission ticket to Summerfest. For details, visit brewers.com/Summerfest. It's coming up.
Yes, it is. That summertime rolling along. Get that temperature up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit breezy down at the lake.
Yeah. Sun was shining today, though, right?
Chilly, yeah, a little breezy. It's getting there, though.
Yeah, it is. Here is J.B. Shuck pinch hitting here in the 9th for the White Sox. Saw him on Monday. So pinch hitter struck out in the 8th inning. And he pops this up. And this will carry into the seats. A game where the Brewers to this point have missed a couple of opportunities. They have but 6 hits, but started to heat up in the 7th and 8th innings. Their first 2 hitters reached in the 7th and came up empty in the 8th. Like they really had something going, but returned back. Double play ball.
Yep, grounded into 2 double plays tonight. Yeah, 6 hits, 5 of them have come in the last 2 innings, but have only been able to plate run 1 run.
Shuck has started a handful of games for the White Sox. A couple in center field. Serving as a pinch hitter here in this series. Here's the 1-2. And a ground ball to short. And Hector Gomez takes care of it. 2 men out. Oh, back to the top, and Adam Eaton walked a couple of times tonight, including the first inning when he scored the game's first run. White Sox team with 8 hits so far tonight. Try to bunt his way on those 4 hits that he had on Monday night. That's the 6th time in his career he has had a 4-hit game. Since then has been fairly quiet, although as we just said, he's worked a couple of walks tonight, was 1 for 5 last night. And a broken bat pop up into foul territory, and no play there for Gomez.
I tell you, Craig Counsell is going to have a difficult time not playing those 2 guys on the left side of the infield. I mean, Herrera, Gomez, those guys have been terrific.
They really have.
I mean, defense, have been swinging the bats. They've been a lot of fun to watch. They really have. They bring some energy to the lineup.
Elian Herrera, and the versatility of both. Herrera has been the starting third baseman the last 6 games. They move him over to second late in this game. Ramos Ramirez still dealing with lower back tightness.
Well, you know, Ramirez is going to get his at-bats. He's going to play, and so is Gene Segura. But there are going to be opportunities to get those 2 in the lineup for sure.
Well, the The arm strength of Hector Gomez, plus the fact that he's doubled and tripled tonight. He's had some big hits, and obviously Herrera has as well. But one of the fun stories of this homestand. Hopefully Ramirez will be good to go this weekend as the Brewers begin a 3-city road trip against the Mets.
I think that injury has kept him out a lot longer than the Brewers had figured.
2-2 pitch to Eaton, and Gomez a diving stop, and the throw not in time.
Just too fast, Adam Eaton. He gets a head start, hitting in that left-hander's batter's box, and watch how quickly he gets out of the box, and he's at full speed. Gomez is able to grab it, and even the big arm not able to get him in time.
Boy, he does fire darts, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. I mean, flat-footed. He has got some kind of throwing arm.
Hector Gomez. Here's Emilio Bonifacio. Infield single, run scoring single in the 7th inning. Veteran utility player. That's right off the mask. Maldonado. He's had a heavy workload.
Yeah, these hurt you a lot more after your team's losing. You've got an 0 for 3, and that one would have got him right between the eyes.
Loves the playing time, but he has been busy. Starting catcher 20 of the last 22 games. That's a lot of foul tips over the last 3 weeks.
And a lot of wear and tear on those legs after not catching a whole lot while Lucroy was playing. Those legs get heavy. Caught a lot in spring training. Lucroy wasn't catching a whole lot early in spring, and before he got hurt, he was getting the lion's share of the catching just about every day, and all of a sudden you're back there every day. Those legs get heavy quickly.
Yeah, you mentioned that right at the beginning when we knew that Lucroy was going to be out for a while with that broken toe. That was going to be the real tester as Jonathan recovers from that. And everybody wants to play every day, but that's a big ask for a catcher. A very good number 2 catcher who has been the number 1 guy here for the last 3 weeks, and that's still going to continue here for the time being while Jonathan continues to recover.
Yeah, once Centeno's started 2 games.
Well, we've seen Maldonado come up with some big hits, including Sunday with the game winner against the Cubs, but it's really been the defense, that throwing arm. He was the first to throw out Billy Hamilton. That great start that the Reds base stealer extraordinaire had. Big string of attempts without getting caught until Maldonado nabbed him. Here's the 1-2. White Sox scored 3 in the first, added 1 in the 7th. Brewers getting their lone run in the 8th inning. Jose Quintana very effective for the White Sox as the 2 left-handers, giving the Brewers a lot of trouble. Sharply hit. Gomez on a hop. And the play at second will end the inning. So good work. The Brewers pen. Last chance for the Brewers, down by 3. Bottom of the ninth here at Miller Park. Brewers down 4-1. They've missed a couple of chances to get this thing really tight. And if they're going to make it interesting in the ninth, they will do it against a very good closer, David Robertson, out there for the White Sox.
Yeah, we saw him in yesterday's ball game. Cutters and curveballs for Robertson. You see 6 for 7 in save opportunities, but look at the walk to strikeout ratio. My goodness. 1 walk, 25 punch outs for the White Sox closer.
He had 2 strikeouts last night as he set the Brewers down in order. And he will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez, and Adam Lind. Brewers got their only run in the 8th. Like a potentially bigger inning than it turned out to be, but a double play ended the inning for Milwaukee. Let's see how the 9th inning unfolds. And Braun showing bunt.
Man, just trying to get something going, get on base, maybe bring that tying run to the plate again. Got Gordon Beckham to move in a couple of steps.
Braun has only faced Robertson a couple of times, looking for his first hit against him. 0-1 pitch.
He showed a pretty good curveball in last night's game.
A former Yankee had 39 saves. That was 3rd best in the American League last year. 2-strike pitch. Brewers with 6 hits tonight. Including Braun, he had a single to center in the 7th. Brewers put the first 2 on in that inning. Could not bring him around. Strike 3 call. Out number 1 here in the 9th.
Not overpowering at all, 92 miles an hour, but able to put this one outer half. I think Bronny looking for a curveball with 2 strikes, got fooled. That one had plenty of the plate that time.
Oh, here's Carlos Gomez. Robertson moving over from the Yankees, signed a 4-year deal with the White Sox. Originally drafted by the Yankees back in 06. Good job following the great Mariano Rivera. Here's the 0-1. Robertson, an all-star 4 years ago. Busy the last 4 years with the Yankees. Between 63 and 70 appearances each year in that span. The 1-1. Gomez hitless in 3 trips. Had one taken away from him by Bonifacio on a diving stop at second in the 7th inning. After Davis and Braun reached. Two-1. Brewers move on to New York. Series with the Mets. Then on to Detroit to face the Tigers. And the 3rd stop on the road swing will take him to Atlanta. Here comes the 2-2. Gomez has that average sitting at 239. Payoff from Robertson. There's a drive hit back into left field. And that is gone. Carlos Gomez gets into 1. And the Brewers are within 2.
Now didn't want to walk him and threw a four-seamer up in the zone down the middle. You knew it right off the bat that wasn't coming back. We have a solo home run on a fastball up down the middle, and Gomez hammers it out of here.
That's the first one that Robertson has given up this year, and the third one that Gomez has hit. So a 4-2 game in the ninth. Now Adam Lind struck out a couple of times and a fly ball to center. The 1-0. Check the Central. The Cubs have beaten the Mets 2-1. Reds over the Braves 5-1. Phillies beat the Pirates 3-2, and Cleveland behind an 18 strikeout performance from Corey Kluber blanks the Cardinals 2-0. Right on it, but fouled it back. Seven hits now tonight for the Brewers, and most of that has been in these final 3 innings.
All but one.
Yeah. Third inning double from Hector Gomez. Otherwise, it's all been from the 7th inning on. 2-2 now to the Brewers' first baseman. Scuffling for the, really, you could say, the first time here in 2015. A 0 for 14 slide going at the moment. The 2-2 pitch. There you go. Worked into a full count.
That gives you an idea how good he was before this slide. Still hitting around 300.
Yeah.
298.
And he has worked David Roberts into a full count. And now the tying run will come to the plate. Good at bat for Adam Lind as Robin Ventura watching his closer struggle here a little bit. He started the ninth by getting Braun on a called third strike. Gomez a home run, and now a walk to Adam Lind. And now Martin Maldonado.
Yeah, not sure how deep the bench is for the Brewers. You got Ramirez probably not available. Not sure about Segura. You got Juan Centeno available, and that's it.
Yeah, Parra and Rogers already have been used. Segura scratched because of a pinky finger. It was sore. He injured it yesterday, we think, on the triple that he hit in the first inning. He was diving into the bag. It was a bit of an awkward dive. You see Ramirez been battling the lower back stiffness. Here's Maldonado. Big offensive game for Martin in this homestand. The 3-hit outing on Sunday against the Cubs, which included the walk-off hit in the 11th.
Hey, Gomez up there. See if he can get something going here. Say Robertson came in 1 walk. He's already walked Lind, and he's behind an account to Maldonado. 3-0.
There you go. Plot thickens here a little bit. Ventura trying to see his team win a road series for the first time this year, but the Brewers are pushing back.
It'll be interesting to see who Craig Counsell uses as a pinch runner if Maldonado reaches. Got to be somebody. That's the tying run if he gets on.
3-1 the count to Maldonado. There's a shot, and it is snagged by Beckham at third. Wow.
That's the way it's been going right there. Maldonado hammers one right to Beckham. Tough break for Maldonado. Got the bat head out on a 3-1 fastball, but right at the White Sox third baseman. Tough break.
2 outs in the ninth. And here's Hector Gomez. He doubled in the third, tripled, and scored in the eighth. He represents the tying run. The home run that he has occurred on this homestand. It was against Clayton Kershaw. Trying to extend the game. Jason Rogers on deck. The 1-0. Well, the Brewers battling right to the end here. A run in the eighth, one so far in the ninth, but they're not done. Robertson trying to get the save. And a foul tip. So they're down to their final strike. Big chance here for Hector Gomez. He has been impressive. A chance to add to that little highlight reel if he can deliver it against David Robertson. Adam Lind, the runner at first. Robertson ready to bring the 1-2.
Man, tried to sink a fastball by him up and in. Dangerous pitch to Hector Gomez. They would have fouled off.
Continues to fight out there. Two for 3 tonight. See if he has another knock in him. Bouncing ball, foul. Good matchup here. Hector Gomez facing the 30-year-old David Robertson. The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out, and that'll do it. The White Sox take 2 out of 3 in the series. Brewers get a run in the ninth, but leave a man as the Chicago White Sox, after dropping the first game, take games 2 and 3, and the homestand comes to an end for the Brewers. It's now on the road, 3-city trip coming up for Craig Counsell's team. Been fun, Rock. We'll see you down the road.
Good job, my friend. Man. Well done.
All right, man.
Been a pleasure. We'll see you, July?
July, yeah. We'll see you down the road. Everybody take care. White Sox a winner, 4-2. Let's send it to Craig Kashan, Jerry Augustine, standing by with Brewers Live postgame.
Okay, Matt, thanks very much. Up next on Brewers Live, we'll get inside the clubhouse, get you set for the road trip as well. And our big money moment, we're going to break down Jimmy Nelson's game on the mound here tonight. Brewers Live is on the way.